Karl, Newcastle fans phoning in. Here's one of them. Dale, good morning to you. Big disappointment for you at the end of that game. And you were there, Dale, right?
I was there, yeah. Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Simon.
Good morning. Good morning, Dale. So what did you think? What did you think, mate?
It was disappointing. I mean, for the first 25 minutes, we were the better team. We were on top of Liverpool. They went down to 10 men. The place was electric. We thought it was going to be our game. And then Liverpool just wanted it more. Really disappointing, to be honest. Do
you go with that, Karl? That Liverpool simply wanted it more?
No, I disagree with that. I think the difference is when you play against 11v11, Liverpool were on the front foot. There were spaces between lines, around lines. I thought Gordon was outstanding. I thought the longer the game went on, Liverpool reduced space between lines and made it difficult for Newcastle to get in between them. The atmosphere at Newcastle will only heap pressure on the team when they got a man more, and you could sense that a little bit. I thought Liverpool didn't want it more, but become much more structured in how they defended.
Okay, but do you think Newcastle have had a humbling week, Dale?
I wouldn't say we've had a humbling week. I mean, we played Man City, which arguably away from home is going to be the hardest game we're going to play all season, depending on if we get PSG or Real Madrid in the Champions League. But it's just nice to be here. It's nice to be back. It's nice to compete. It's nice to be in the conversation against the big boys, you know?
True. Good to be. I get that completely. Thank you. Henry, a big Newcastle fan. So many of you calling in. Good morning, Henry.
Hi, guys. You all right? How you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you doing? Because you're a Newcastle fan. You would think we're going to get 3 points here.
Yeah. I mean, despite my accent, I am actually a Newcastle fan, yeah. I thought yesterday it was just. I thought we gave Liverpool far too much respect for 10 men. I felt like we were playing like we were sort of 3-0 up, and I think it was a real learning curve yesterday. Because even with Liverpool with 10 men, they've still got enough quality to unlock any team.
Yeah.
So it was really. I was gutted yesterday. I was more disappointed than losing the cup final, to be honest.
Really? And I know how disappointed Newcastle fans were at Wembley that day when you lost to Manchester United. Karl, you manage football teams. Second guess it for me this morning. How will Eddie Howe be feeling? In all honesty, how will he be feeling?
He'd be disappointed, but I'm sure the one thing managers have to do, they have to go into work the next morning with a mindset of positivity. There's no other way. Yes, you're going to go through the game. Yes, you're going to pick up on points. Yes, you have to be aggressive maybe in some areas where they could have done better and should have done better. But fundamentally, you're the person that's got to lead them into the next game. I know Eddie personally as well. I think since he's gone there, he's been outstanding. I know he'll conduct himself in a way where he'll be calm, calculated, which he is as a human being anyway. And I think you'll find that balance perfectly as they go through the week before they play Brighton next weekend.
Yeah. Simon, you rightly said Manchester City, in the meantime, get the job done.
Yeah.
Do you think it is ominous for everybody else?
I don't think it cannot be, because I think that they're such a solid outfit with such quality and such depth and such an elite manager and such a habit of winning that they know precisely what they're doing, and they look stronger and better at times than they did in previous seasons. They're not even playing at full tilt right now.
Yeah.
You know, you've got De Bruyne out, you've got Foden on the bench yesterday, and you've got people that are just players that are improving exponentially, like Jack Grealish, that have gone on and gotten better. We all know what Jack Grealish can do going forward, but we've got a player that's more disciplined, more part of a unit. You've got the boy up top that is, irrespective of whether he misses a penalty and takes chances, he's going to score goals for fun. You've got a team that creates chances for fun. You've got such an impressive side from goalkeeper to centre forward. It's difficult to find a weakness.
Yeah.
I mean, Kyle Walker did his very best to help his home team side yesterday, but even Kyle Walker is one of my favourite players in the world. I think he's an outstanding fullback, even at the age that he's at now. He still doesn't look like he's losing any pace. I just think it's very, very now. Injuries, we talk about injuries playing into the narrative of things. De Bruyne is gone, but they've got such strength. You never know. If Haaland gets injured next, you don't know what can happen. But I just think they're so strong.
I look at what they're doing at the moment, though, Karl. First time they've won their first 3 matches since 2016, and we know they're strong at the end of every season.
I was hoping for all of us that they would struggle. Just because you want an open challenge for the championship,
and you want Liverpool to win it.
With De Bruyne, I thought the big loss for me, we played against towards the back end of the season, and Gundogan to me was one of the best players in the Premier League last season. So it was him, Mahrez, and De Bruyne for the first 3 games. If they were ever going to struggle, and then with the manager not on the touchline yesterday, it would have been in them type of games. I didn't think they were great yesterday. I thought they showed certain moments when they could be got at, when they're vulnerable. But I think Alaves is like, that boy is just getting better and better. They look more disciplined this year than what they did last season, which may mean they mightn't blow teams away as much as what they did in recent years. But they just look. I remember growing up as a kid watching the Arsenal team play. Whether I like them or whether I don't, they just looked strong all the time, and they had a way and a nous of knowing how to win. That wasn't how we would see Man City over recent years.
But it's also contextual. I mean, we have to get into context that you've played 2 promoted sides in your first 3 games. You know, Newcastle at home is a game, despite all the noise that goes around Newcastle, that you would expect the defending champions to win at home. You certainly would expect them to beat Burnley on the first game of the season, albeit that Burnley come with all the feeling of the motivation of being in the Premier League and all the enthusiasm, but reality comes knocking on your door pretty quickly when you can see the goal pretty early. And then you're playing Sheffield United. You're playing 2 of the sides that arguably people would tip to get relegated. Now, when they go head-to-head against the other sides in the division, whether that's Arsenal, whether it's Manchester United, albeit you can put, going through Manchester United's midfield right now is like putting a knife through butter, isn't it? But notwithstanding that, those games will be more challenging for them, and we'll see. But right now, it's ominous.
Yeah, I know they didn't win the Community Shield, but I actually thought they were much better than Arsenal on the day when I watched that game. I know they lost on penalties, but I thought that was probably the most convincing performance. I've seen them play 4 times this year, and that's probably the best I've seen them play in probably the most difficult of challenges.
I think you're right, Carl. I saw them beat Newcastle 1-0, and they're unbelievable. What is Rodri all about? What a player Rodri.
What is he worth? Like I mentioned about Declan Rice going to Arsenal, about how good I think he is. And I actually, the price tag, I know you'll disagree, Sam, with what he went for, but in the modern day world, he's worth that. So if he's worth that, what is Rodri worth?
What would Rodri be worth? A scorer of very important goals and an important scorer of goals. I mean,
you've had that eclipse. You've had Declan Rice eclipsed by Caicedo going to...
Yes,
to Chelsea. So you make your own argument about the economics of La La Land.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.